There are some places that feel immediately familiar the moment you arrive, and then there are places that feel almost unreal. Hoi An felt like the second kind. I reached Hoi An in the evening, which I feel is the perfect time to arrive here, because the moment the sun starts going down, the entire town starts lighting up. The lanterns come on, the river reflects all of the colors, and there's music everywhere. You see photos of the lanterns, the river, the yellow buildings, but none of it really prepares you for what it actually feels like to be there. And within the first few minutes, I could already understand why so many people fall in love with this place, especially at night. But at the same time, Hoi An is also very crowded now, and I think that's something people don't mention enough online. There are moments where it almost feels like everyone in Vietnam decided to be in Hoi An at the exact same time. But even with the crowds, the atmosphere still feels magical. And I think a lot of that comes from the lighting. Hoi An at night genuinely feels like a movie set. But that wasn't actually my favorite part of visiting Hoi An, because that happened a little while later. I walked around for a bit first, just soaking everything in. Tried some food, watched the boats go by, crossed the tiny crowded streets. I even bought a lantern from an old lady. Now, technically, one of the must-do experiences in Hoi An is taking the boat ride and releasing lanterns into the water. But I skipped the boat ride. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but it felt a little too crowded and slightly overrated for me. So instead, I just stood near the riverbank and released the lantern from the shore. And then I headed to Hoi An Memories Island for the Memories Show. And even though I'd heard amazing reviews about the show, I did not really know what to expect. Like I thought it would just be another cultural performance for tourists. But the scale of this thing was insane. First off, the stage is massive. Like, you only get to see certain parts of it during certain parts of the show. Like, it's so beautifully choreographed. There are hundreds of performers. The lighting, the costumes, the music, the choreography, everything feels so grand and emotional at the same time. And even if you don't fully understand the language or the story, you still feel the power in the performance and the music. The music was so hauntingly beautiful, I swear I still get goosebumps when I rewatch the videos of the show. There were moments where the entire stage looked like a moving painting, and then suddenly it becomes loud and dramatic and overwhelming, and then quiet again. It felt less like watching a show and more like being pulled into somebody's memory, which I guess is the whole point. And I think that's why, for me, this became the most interesting thing about Hoi An. Because AncientTown is beautiful to look at and experience, but the Memories Show actually made me feel something. It gave so much life and emotion to the history and culture instead of just pretty streets and lanterns. I really didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. After the show ended, it was already late, and just as I stepped outside, it started raining.
It's raining.
Not heavily at first, just enough to completely change the mood of the night. And it made everything feel even more cinematic. And even outside the actual performance, Memories Island itself was quite nice to walk around. There are little souvenir shops, snack stalls, lanterns everywhere, and tiny village style corners. People just wandering around slowly after the show. It didn't feel overly commercial or rushed either. The whole place still had this calm, slightly dreamy atmosphere, like the evening was continuing even after the performance ended. And the rain played a really big role in that as well. I stuck around for a while longer to take photos and explore the place a little. And after watching something that massive and emotional, it actually felt nice to just slow down and take it all in before heading back into the city. I took a grab bike back into AncientTown again, and somehow the town seemed to have turned even prettier at night. Maybe because it was raining, maybe because I had just watched the show. Either way, everything suddenly felt softer, dreamier, and more romantic. The way the lights reflected off of the wet pavement, the lanterns reflecting on the river, people sitting by the water, late night food stalls still busy, and music drifting through the streets. It truly felt magical. And obviously, I had to eat again because somehow travel just becomes eat, walk, eat, sleep, repeat. No regrets though. I think what I remember most about Hoi An isn't just how pretty it looked, but how it felt. And the memory show is what brought that feeling to life for me. And if you want to experience more of the Hoi An Memories Show for yourself, I've uploaded a longer version separately because I felt that it was too beautiful not to share. I'll link the video in the description below, so do check it out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more travel adventures. And if you're looking for more travel tips and inspiration, be sure to check out my other videos. Hit the bell icon to stay updated on my latest videos. Let's embark on this unforgettable journey together. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.